So, I just finished watching the latest episode of Attack on Titan, and I went and took a shower, and this happens to me sometimes where I'm feeling this cosmic pull towards a certain type of energy or a certain type of thought that I need to pick apart and figure out and mull over. I felt like that. I was like, I opened myself up. I made sure that it was okay. Of course, like I checked intuitively. I was like, is this fine for me to investigate? And I felt like yes, it is. Yes, it is okay to investigate it. And so I did. And so a couple years ago, I had a vision of myself in what seemed like a similar dimension. I was pale and I had long black hair like I do now, but it was in a slightly different style. Like the front was shorter than the back, and the front was like a bit spiky and wavy. And I had golden eyes, and I had some facial hair. Sometimes I like here, like right now in this life, I grow my facial hair a little bit, but I I don't let it get too long. I like how I look with some facial hair, but I like how I look better when I am clean shaven. I just don't mind letting it grow. Plus, I don't like shaving every day. And in this vision, I was looking at a mirror. I was looking in a mirror and I was holding the sink. With both hands, I was holding the sink and I was looking at myself. I was looking into my golden eyes. And I felt I felt resolve and determination. I felt like I was getting ready to do something, to change the world, or to accomplish something, or whatever, some kind of big task or grand thing that I felt like needed to be done, and I was getting ready to do it. And I let go of the sink, I gave myself one last look in the mirror, and then I walked away. And I don't remember anything after that. Yet. And I watched the latest episode of Attack on Titan, and Eren, the main character, Eren Yeager, he had his hair almost exactly the same way I did in my vision. And he was looking in a mirror while holding a sink. And he was whispering to himself, he said, Tatakai, Tatakai, which in Japanese means fight, fight. And you may say that this was just coincidental. It's a coincidence, big deal. You had a vision and the anime reflected it. Well, first of all, there are reasons why you have visions, okay? You're supposed to see what you're seeing. You're supposed to hear what you're hearing. First of all. Second, it's not the only parallel between that show and who I feel like I am. It's not the only parallel. For the past few months, I've had several not just a few, but several dreams where I'm on this this mission, this task, this duty to do something that I feel needs to be done no matter what. And then and then love turns me away from my task and leads me to something better. That's what all of my dreams have been like. And it's always a blonde-haired girl with blue eyes. They're different girls, but they all have the same traits. They have blonde hair and blue eyes, and they love me so much, and I love them so much, and they just want the fighting to stop, and they don't want me to do what I feel like I need to do. And in these dreams, every time I decide to let it all go, and I just run away with them. I take this girl, I take my family, and maybe some of my friends, and I go somewhere, and that's where we become kings and queens of a new place, of a different world, or a different part of the world where we can feel like we don't need to worry about things anymore. I always have the same kind of dream, but the plot line is structured in different ways. But it always involves a woman, a realization. And in Attack on Titan, in the show, Eren, he loves a girl called Historia. She's the queen of his country. She's she has blonde hair, blue eyes. She's so tiny and cute, and she's still so strong. And he loves her, and she loves him. There was this one part where Eren, when he was younger, bad people were telling him that he is the reason for suffering, and that Historia needs to kill him to take his powers for the good of the world. And just before she fully agreed to doing that, and Eren didn't care. He was like, yeah, just do it. Just kill me. I'm a bad person. Just do it. Historia, right before she allowed them to do it, she changed her mind. She said, "Screw this. Fuck this. I'm not gonna kill him. I'm not gonna kill my friend. I don't care if he is the end of the world. I won't kill him." And she saved him. And when I was in the shower, I was thinking, like, why why are there so many parallels between Eren and I? Like, what am I supposed to be looking for here? What am I looking for? And I asked that to myself, and I looked inside of myself to find what the moral of all of this is, what the message that I'm supposed to be gaining is. And the message I got, I think, is to not repeat his mistakes, because what he ended up doing is, right now, he's on a quest, he's on a crusade to destroy the world. Because him and his people and his country are hated by the world, or most of the world. And he had a couple of options to secure the future for his friends. Option number one was to give Historia a similar kind of power that he has, but it would result in her dying after 13 years. The second option was to euthanize his whole race. So that way nobody has to die, everybody gets to live a long life, but that's not what he wanted, because there's a reason for his people to exist. And the third option is something called the Rumbling, which it breaks down the walls of his country, and inside the walls are these massive, towering beings that will go on to crush the whole world. And that's what he went for. He knew that he would be seen as a monster, but he didn't want Historia to suffer, and he didn't want his friends to suffer. But right now his friends are still suffering, because right now in the story's not done yet. There's like a couple chapters left. It's almost done. But right now his friends are trying to stop him. And a few of them have died trying to stop him. He is indirectly responsible for the deaths of the people that he wants to protect. And what I'm seeing here is that I'm not supposed to make the same mistakes that he made. He chose to destroy everything in the world, except his country. But couldn't he have just ran away, taken his friends, and let his government, let his country do whatever the hell they have to do? Just let them do their thing. Let them fight their battle. Choose love instead. It will never betray you. It will never lead you astray. You don't have to suffer. You make the choice to suffer. You don't have to. There was nothing stopping him from just taking Historia and taking his friends and just say, screw this. I don't care what happens to our country. I don't care what happens to anything. You guys are the ones that are important to me, and this conflict isn't worth anything to me anymore. I've seen the light, and I'm taking us out of here. I'm taking us towards it. I'm taking us towards the light and not this constant suffering. And when I was in the shower, and I was trying to figure out what it was all about, I was saying to myself, think. Which was exactly like when Eren was going, Tatakai, Tatakai. And I didn't even mean that. I didn't even try that. That wasn't intentional, it just happened that way. It was another parallel between him and I. I am cosmically reflected by this character, this fictional character. and in a cosmic way that is simultaneously intentional and unintentional. Unintentional because the writer obviously doesn't know who the fuck I am, but intentional because things happen the way they do for a reason, individualized into our perspectives. I will always choose love. Always.